There we go. Welcome to another segment of Buddycast. I'm here with a good buddy of mine, Aaron Forsyth. Aaron and me are our local comedians. That's how I know him.
Cahoots.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the cahoots.
Exactly. We've done plenty of open mics together. We've done a few shows together even. And yeah, it's been a blast the entire time. So
yeah.
He's one of the energetic comedians. He's one of those that are always like jumping around on stage, and it works for him.
Yeah, I know. I get shot out of a cannon when it happens, It's like I get so excited that I just I blow up, I know. Absolutely. Even this one's even tickling a nutsack because I'm getting a little excited.
Exactly.
I haven't had a lot of human interaction with the quarantines.
So I'm picking you out of your shell.
Oh, I'm loving it. I'm good for it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, as I mentioned, you do stand-up comedy. So
I do stand-up comedy. Yes.
Yeah. What inspired you to do it?
Well, most people know I've been in a band for years, 20-something plus years. So I've been, playing bass and singing in rock bands and doing the whole thing. Let's shoot back in time about 3 years ago. I was hitting a low. Music is kind of hitting a high or a low. And, as any creative person does, I got a little depressed. So here's what I did. I had got some advice from some friends who were saying, if you're going to be depressed, hang around your funniest friends. So I started doing that. And then I find myself at Juniors. And a buddy of mine who was co-owner of Juniors at the time was giving me free tickets. So I just kept going, Rob, he was real nice. Rob. Yeah, he's a good buddy of mine. I knew him through music, but he was giving me free tickets. So what I would do every weekend, I was just hitting comedy, hitting the club and going there. And I gotta say, laughter was truly the best medicine. I got out of there rejuvenated. I just feeling better. The endorphins in your brain start going when you're laughing, So through that, after about 4 shows, I was like, I think I can do this. But, I started concocting things. Then lo and behold, here's an open mic, try that. I wasn't sure if I was going to make the transition, but I did. And reinvented myself. It was kind of like, because music, like I said, music was kind of in its ninth inning for me. It's still there. It's still in my life, and I do the thing. But I needed to laugh, and that was the key. Got rid of the depression, got rid of everything, and I realized, I don't want to say I had a higher calling, but more of a higher use for myself. It's kind of like when you play music, it's kind of egocentric. You hope people are going to like it, but you end up eventually just being a glorified beer salesman. So there I am, doing my thing, but I figured out I was selling beer and selling the night and selling the party. And that to me was cool, and it was making me money, but it was not fulfilling the soul. I was not moving the soul dial. And comedy moves the soul dial. Comedy for me, I think, because we all want to laugh. It's the connection. It's the connection we all have. You could be 18 or you can be 80, and the laugh. It's the laugh, and the endorphins that made my head hum and tingle, I'm now able to do for other people, which is the cathartic merging of it all. That was my realization. That's why I did it. Yeah. So
how long have you been doing it?
Huh?
How long have you been doing it?
Well, with quarantine now, I'm rolling into the 3rd year. Back end of 2.5. 3. The quarantine. I don't know how long have we been in quarantine. It seems like I've been locked away forever. I don't know. It's probably only been about 4 months now.
I think so.
Yeah. I know. It's like everything shit the bed there about end of March. I know it. But those last few months, the shows, things were clicking. All my comic friends, you, Craig, Anthony, everybody's act was just really, the bar was getting higher and everybody was just kind of lifting. I could see us all growing and our personalities coming out, and then it went dark. So here we are in the darkness, surviving it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Absolutely. Now, how many open mics and shows do you think you've done total in those years?
Well, start off light at first. The first like 6 months, yeah, it's a little light, give or take. Yank this, do that. But I think the last before quarantine, I was rounding out about 100 a year. It turns out. I mean, but then you mix that, I was doing music gigs too. So half my life or half my week had always been gigs. Whether it's music or open mics. But I know last year was pretty much a solid 100, 110 somewhere in there for a whole year, which wasn't bad. I mean, actual great gigs, 20. The other ones were me bombing in front of open mics. You know how it is. You and I have done those shows where we're playing to eight people, and our comic friends are the only ones there, and they're all like,
I was about to say 8 people and 5 of them are fellow performers.
oh, I know. It's like preaching to the choir on that one. But that's what you do. That's as comics, we got to do that, because if we can do good in front of our peers, then it's safe to say civilians will kind of like us. I always hope. I hope.
I view open mics as like T-ball or like practice.
I do.
Yeah,
I do in that sense. But I find I always treat them like real gigs.
Oh yeah, that's what you got to do in practice too.
Yeah, like a dress rehearsal.
No slugger ever just picked up a baseball bat and just went smack the first time.
Right. So it's the dress rehearsal. I call it, because I do my practice in like a couple hours before. During the day, I'm in my office, and I'm just walking around saying my things and thinking in my head. The brain's churning how I'm going to say that word or move that word around. But no, it's a gig. Open mics are a gig. And I know some comics go in there and just go, it's an open mic. Who gives a fuck? And they go in there and slack it off. I don't believe in that. I think you should go in guns a-blazing, and light it up. Even if it is 10 comic friends or you got 30 or so civilians. It doesn't matter. I love that. I love the dichotomy of that. The who knows what tonight's going to bring. So that's what I thrive off it. I love it.
Absolutely. Now, what's your favorite joke or story to tell during these?
Of mine or yours?
Yeah, of yours.
Oh, of mine. Oh.
You can tell mine too if you want.
Yeah, you got a few.
Yeah.
I like. Well, I have a few bits that I don't know if anyone out there has seen it, but I constructed my main 7 minutes to be like, I start off with the old, I wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crackers line. Who says that? Da da da. But then it ties into, I call it back, see what they call the call back. I call it back to the, I got a joke after about being at the Motel 6 and making, diarrhea hand turkeys. And then I go into this whole bit about state mottos, and I make fun of Ohio and I make fun of New York a little bit, which I don't know if that's going to work in Omaha, but it works for now. But and then I got a little flim flam afterwards that I've been trying to cut off at the heels there and try to trim and paste. But I think I like the state motto bit is probably the best one, because I don't want to say it's that super hilarious, but it seems to work for civilians. It works on all levels, all age groups, but it's kind of an original bit, which, as us as comics, we all kind of pull out of the same pool. We pull out of like everyone's got a dog joke. Everyone's got a Tinder joke. Everyone's got a this and that joke. Whereas I always felt like, when I hit the state motto joke, I was like, I think I'm onto something here. You know what I mean? It was one of my true few originals, if you will, original thoughts.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you like the state mottos. I like that one too.
Yes. And then I've been towards the end there. I started working with the crowd a little more, tickling the crowd, tickling them up. I've been liking that. I was never a stage work the crowd kind of guy until recently, because that scared me. I was always afraid. I didn't want to break my script. Because I had kind of a mental script going on and kind of like act 1, act 2, act 3. But when you kind of give the power of the crowd a little bit, and then you get them all tingly and personalize it. Then you can play around in the field a little bit. So I was liking that. I was liking that.
Yeah,
And it was fun.
absolutely.
Yeah. What else do you want to know?
So, how often do you write? And is it something that comes easy to you, or is it something that you spend like the entire day basically like you set aside all this time to say, this is what I'm doing today?
No, I don't. What happens with me, I have a 3-step process, which I'll go, I got a weird random idea. I might pull over on the side of the road. Like all of a sudden I go, chickens with pants. So I pull over on the side of the road, enter in my phone, and I'll put chickens with pants in the phone. Then I'll think about it. It'll stir in my, it'll go in the head. Then I get home and I grab the black moleskin book. You know, the book. We've all got one of these. So then I write it in there, and that's when it becomes the form. And then from there, I'll let it marinate. I'll move on to the next one, put the next one. So I get about ideas every other day, something, I'll get a lightning strike. I'll pass it up. But then at the end of the week, I usually go back in through what lightning struck, and then I start editing. Get rid of it, get rid of that, and trim it down. Trim, because as they say in songwriting, don't bore us, get to the chorus. So you gotta trim the fat, make those premises, make those opening things not so lengthy, because we're dealing with a short attention span world out there, and it's best that we get to the point, as quick as possible on stage. I mean, we've got 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 7 minutes to win them over and be on to the next bit. So we got to get a laugh. So that's why I edit. It's all about editing. Getting rid of those extra words. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's great advice. I like the advice. Take out the fat and just go to it,
Yes. Like I said, like songwriting, don't bore us, get to the chorus. Boom.
That's what I like. That's what I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, give us a hook. Where's the hook? Don't give us this big long intro with helicopter noises. No, I want you want that thing. You want schlickety do, instant gratification.
You don't want the commercials. You want the actual show.
Yes. We want the payoff.
Yeah. So what are your hopes and dreams for when it comes to comedy?
Well, that's multi-layered. Let me think. Well, I would say my immediate goal would be, honestly, I'm not looking to be some huge headliner or anything like that. I would just like to go to comedy clubs and be the go-to feature. Like, I love featuring, because it's less pressure. I don't have to sell the tickets. I just gotta bring in the noise and bring the show to a new level. So I just want to be the feature. I would love that. I want to make feature money. I want to do real gigs, more real clubs. I want to travel. I want to do, I want to do my Thursday through Saturday night 5 shows and feature and make some feature money and some free drinks and high five people out the door and have a good time, send the love. Now, beyond that, I thought about that. Like, sometimes I get existential and you think, what do I want here? Do I want to get on TV? That would all be great, but it seems like a pipe dream. It seems like it's far away. You know what I mean? So, yeah, for now, I just want to be a main call feature in bigger cities. You know what I mean? Like but you ever, when the clock turns 11:11, or when you find the 4-leaf clover and you blow on it, what's your wish? Do you make the wish?
I do at 11:11 sometimes if I ever happen to catch it.
Yeah. I do it too. Now, I don't want to jinx myself, but I always say, whenever I do it, I go, I want the world to hear my name. And that is basically, now I hope it's not through,
I was about to say, how do you define that wish? Because there could be the way that you're thinking, the glorious, and there could be on this episode of Cops.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I don't want to be that guy in the middle of a protest or something like that. Yeah. But yes. So who knows, but they always say, there's the old saying, God only gives you what you need, not what you want. So I go with that and I go, well, the world's not going to hear my name, but maybe So yeah, I got dreams just like anyone else. You want something more. And I would like for it to pay off with a little chingola, pay off the house a little bit, you know. It would be nice to not have to live check to check. I mean, at my age, you know, when you're around 40 and you're living check to check, it's like, this sucks. It sucks. I would like a little bit of money. And believe me, I'm not in it for the money. I just want a little bit of
A nice side benefit.
Yeah, I just like that. I'd like to be able to tip good, and yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Now, who are some of your comedic role models?
Ooh. Well, I have different ones for different reasons. Now, originally when I started going to the club, the one who made a difference on me, John Reap. John Reap. There's something about John Reap. I love the character of him and just the way he connected with people. Don Collier was a good one. But, you know, when I see live, like, I love the storytelling and the expressionism of Jim Brewer. He's kind of more my style, but yet he's long form. I'm not long form. I love the joke telling of somebody like a Mike Cannon, or I'm a huge Mark Norman fan, or Joe List. I love those guys. But, you know, I like the characters. I like people who are a little different. You know, sometimes I get a little, what's the word? I get a little overran with the comics who they go up and they just talk and they're just like, they're too cool for school. You know, exactly. I want a character. I want somebody to go, you know, and be fun. You know, that's why I like the John Reaps, and I like the Jim Brewers and the people like that are actually more expressionists. You know, when I was a kid, I remember being 9 years old and loving Steve Martin. You know, Steve Martin, wild and crazy guy, the way he was. You know what I mean? I know a lot of comedians will go, "Oh, you have to listen to, you know, George Carlin and all that stuff," which he's fine, he's great, but I kind of like the silly. I kind of like the sillier guys, you know.
Sounds like your dog likes to too.
Oh yeah. My dog's broken. She's got something wrong with her. She basically barks at anything that goes by. Yeah, it's
Okay. My dog does the same thing. So, you mentioned all your role models. Who are 3 pros that made it to the big leagues today that you would one day like to perform with?
Well, I would, you know, honestly, because I think the level of, like, I would love to be a feature for like somebody like a Bert Kreischer, or somebody like on that level, to where it'd be like they're doing theaters, but I'm just the quiet feature guy who gets his 10 minutes, you know. And somebody with a cool loyal fan base like that. That if you're in their cool club, you would be like, Bert Kreischer's got a loyal fan base, so it'd be somebody that by association, you know. But you know, Brewer would be a great one. Although we're similar, so I wouldn't want to trample on his gig. But yeah. Anyway, you know, I always daydream too. You know, have you ever daydreamed about like, oh, I wonder what it would be like in the those redneck comedy guys. You know, like you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, like Reap and all them.
Yeah, well, he's great, but more like the get her done guy and people
Larry
like
the Cable Guy.
Yeah, you know, some of those guys with the loyal fan bases that are ravenous, and they, you know, I'd like to get in with some of those kind of folks, you know, and just be the different guy on the bill instead of the same kind of guy. Because I feel like if I was on a bill with Brewer, if I was on a bill with Mark Norman or something like that, they're so good, and they kind of think like I do, so it would be like I wouldn't be any different. The fans would just be like, I'd rather go somewhere where you're, you know what I mean? You know where I'm going with this? You know, where they're a little different. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about you? What's your one? What's your big dream?
Ooh. My big dreams would include a few locals, you know. I always loved Tammy Pescatelli.
Oh, she's good. I've seen her a couple times. Yeah, she's good.
Well, Brad Williams, for example, you know.
Oh, Brad's good
people
too.
in the same night.
I loved him. I've seen him live too. He's great.
Yeah. There's always a lot of, I'm more of the type, like, I don't mind performing with people like that. Like the people who come to juniors, you know. I'm not the comedian who's looking to open up for trying to think of, like, I'm not the guy who's trying to open up for like I had the name on the tip of my tongue, and like the big shots, like Jerry Seinfeld, or like
Oh yeah, that's
yeah,
too scary.
yeah,
I'd be
just
scared shit.
something at juniors would be awesome, like something like what you got, something like a simple, hey, here's my good friend Tammy Pescatelli. Hey, here, John Reap's
Mhm.
a big name, but at the same time, he's someone you got to talk to after juniors and actually took time to talk to, because
Yes, they're accessible. They're not like superheroes. They're
yeah,
accessible. Yeah.
exactly. They're the type of people that will take time and just say to you, "Hey, here's what's going on." Like
Yes.
for example, I caught a foul ball. I went to a Seawolves game right before John Reap show when he came to Erie the last time, and it was because Tim Tebow came to town, and I got free vouchers from my work, and I caught Tim Tebow's foul ball. It
His
was
actual
a line drive straight to me. My
Gee,
cousin stepped in the way to protect me, but it was a line drive. Like, if my cousin hadn't stepped in at the last minute, I would have been meeting John Reap like this. Hey man, how's it
yeah.
going? You know.
Wow. Did you get him
So
to sign it or anything after the fact? Or?
absolutely not Tim Tebow, but John Reap. I actually, because I had it in my pocket, and I'm like, you know what? You know how comedians always share a story of something that happened after the show?
Yeah.
What else can you say you signed a baseball after a comedy show?
That's cool. Yeah, he'll remember you. He'll be like, oh,
Exactly.
but you're a memorable fellow, so I don't
Oh, yeah.
think he'll remember you. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. So,
that's a
but yeah,
good
just
story.
like those guys, like the ones that take the times to interact with their fans afterwards. It's not just after the show, photo op, smile, okay, see you later.
Mm-hmm. I know. I like that too. I know. Yeah, like Jay Farrow was like that too, where it's like they're just so they seem larger than life when they're doing their thing, but when they take the time in between, and if they know you're a comic,
Mhm.
there's they can sense it. There's a certain thing we exude as comics, like
Mhm.
I call it the force. It's like we're exuding the Jedi force. They sense it because they see, they
Yeah,
know. Yeah.
exactly. I always ask them, and this is going to be my final question to you. It's not coming up yet because I got one more question.
Okay. Let her
Yep.
rip.
But I always ask them a certain question at the end of it. So
Okay.
my next question to you is, you and me do a lot of open mics.
We
I
do.
think I've seen you at maybe 90% of all the open mics I've done.
Yep. Yep.
How do you think this pandemic is going to change the open mic setting?
Hmm. Well, immediately, I think it's going to lighten out the civilians a little bit that are scared. But honestly, I think people are ready to go back. So I think we're going to have a better civilian turnout. I think also maybe it will get rid of the extra characters, like almost leave us lifers there. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Because you know what it was like towards the end there. It's kind of like, well, in the beginning, you and there's like 8 comics signing up. Now there's like 15, and next year it'll be 30. You know what I mean? So the numbers are going up, but I think the numbers are going down for comics. So maybe there might be a little more breathing room for us, but
Mhm.
I think people are ready to get back. I mean,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
nervous. I mean, believe me, I've been offered gigs, and I'm not there yet because I know the COVID numbers are going up, and I'm adhering to I don't want to get, I don't want to, I don't want to get sick,
Yeah.
and I'm not one who thinks it's a hoax. I believe it's real, and
Oh,
and I, I
yeah,
don't want to get anyone else sick too, so I want that, I'm following the rules.
absolutely. I report on it every day. I know this isn't a joke. Heck, my mom is, I love her. I love her. My mom is petrified for this stuff. I come
Good,
home every day from work and take a shower.
good, as well she should be. I know.
Absolutely. And I don't blame her because like I said, we have, I report on this every day. We even have a doctor friend who you've heard me make fun of him before. Dr.
Hmm.
Feel good when I compare him to Rocket Man.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a
That guy.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's our inside source and telling us, yeah, this isn't just something that, like some political hoax or something. Like, this is the real deal. Like, he's seen the full state. Like, he's seen the people on the ventilators. He's seen those people who have,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
who.
Yeah, Tina, my girlfriend, being a nurse, she's seen it
Mhm.
firsthand too. And having to hand somebody an iPad because their family can't say goodbye to them, and they have to
Mhm.
say goodbye on an iPad.
Exactly.
should be a wake-up call for some people, but instead you got these nudniks on Erie News Now going, open up, oh yeah, so they can go get their deep fried assholes somewhere, and they don't even care about the ramifications of
Exactly. And I see that all the time too. Like I see a bunch of social media posts. I just want the county open, so you can go back to your day-to-day life, and because I think this is an opportunity. For example, for comics, and you and me, it's an opportunity to create more stuff. It's it's that chance we needed to just sit down. Don't get me wrong, I still have to go to work every day and everything like that.
Yeah, same here.
It's that chance to, nothing's going on tonight. Nothing, I don't have to go. My friends aren't expecting me at the bar. My buddies aren't, going out to this place tonight, so let's go with them. It's a chance to just sit down, relax, and that's the perfect opportunity to write something,
Yep, that's what I've been doing. And quite honestly, and it's also helped, and I talk about it on my podcast because, since the quarantine's been going down, I started a podcast. I joined the club, which, by the way, my friend compadre, I'm going to get you on in the next week or two. So don't you, God.
I'll gladly be on. You became a host, or you became a guest for me. I'll do the same for you.
That's the rub. We're crossing streams. But I do talk about it a lot in the podcast as far as the quarantine is good because it makes us get back to reality here. The world paused, but when you're sitting around home, it's good to just be with the ones you love, locked in the house, you know what I mean? And just really get back, and all that competition and all that race for the gold isn't there, because there is no gold at the moment. So it's kind of like, I'm a civilian. I'm no longer a musician. I'm no longer a comic anymore. I'm Aaron the guy sitting in my house. So I got to be creative. I got to get it out. But there's no big race. It's not a race. The finish, and you forget. We forget when we're all tangled and toiled in the daily grind of comic. Got to get this microphone. Got to drive here. Got to go there. Got to get there. Where's my call? Where's this? And it's a whole thing. But no, quarantine was a slowdown. It was a leveler. I'm kind of okay with it, and it gave me a chance to write too, because when I come back on, I got some jizzins that are gonna happen. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Some new pieces you're ready to try out.
Yeah. I'm ready. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got another question I just thought of for you.
Okay.
Have you ever considered doing like a virtual show, or are you pro or against that?
Hard to say. I've heard pros and cons. At the moment, I would say no, but I've heard. I don't know. Like if it was a group setting, like a bunch of comics talking, sure. But civilian wise, I'm kind of nervous because a lot of what I do is kind of in the moment and spontaneous and just like full body gestures and just and getting weird with people. I don't know if it would translate over Zoom, but maybe I'm not opposed to it. I've done a couple little things here and there, but I'll just kind of wait till it's time to get back.
Yeah, you want the real deal.
Yeah, because it is. There's something, the experience of all of us in a club together. That's just, you know what I mean? There's the caught moment, right when you hit that, you have 2 drinks and your buddy just got done killing before it. And it's like, and you got the butterflies in your stomach and you're like, all right, I'm next on the list. And you get that little in you and you get, and you're like a Disney villain doing the skipper fingers, and you're just ready to go. And then boom, they call your name and you're up. And I love that squirm. I live for that. Zoom, I don't know if it'll happen. But I'll try. If you got an idea, throw it my way. Hey, why not?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You, me, and my girlfriend will have to do a show or something,
Oh my gosh, yeah. I got to meet her in person. I've seen her on your little chat things. I've seen you guys. Yeah, you guys are quite the cute little couple. Yeah.
I'll tell you your story. Stay on afterwards for a few seconds when I end the broadcast. I'll tell you something about her. And I'm not. Yeah.
It better have pictures.
There might be. Not both pictures. Anyways, so I'm going to end on this question, if you don't mind.
Okay. You got it.
So, as I mentioned before, anytime I go to juniors, I always ask a new comedian one question.
Ooh, okay.
What is your advice to someone out there who is practicing comedy? Like, what's your advice? If someone is watching right now and thinking, I've always wanted to try stand-up comedy, but I haven't really or maybe they're like us where they're doing it, but they're,
Yeah,
they're,
they are. Yeah.
they're waiting for their opportunity.
I would say it's okay. You're going to fall, you're going to trip, you're going to bomb. That is the whole thing, but you have to love it and have fun with it. You've got to laugh as well as making people laugh. If you can't laugh, they won't laugh. But you got to have fun. You just got to have fun and just get better at it. And not every gig is going to be the daydream that you think you're going to see on Netflix. It ain't that. It's these dirty, dingy clubs playing to, in a weird corner of the room, playing to people who think you're weird. It doesn't matter. You're gonna have more bad gigs than good gigs, but that's okay. I find when you do get that 1 out of 5, that's the all of all gigs. It makes up for the 4 bad gigs before it. You know what I mean? So you're gonna fall off the bike. Everyone falls off the bike when they're trying to learn. So hey, yeah, put a baseball card in your spokes and fake the motorcycle. Just keep pedaling. That's all. That's what I tell people. You like that one?
Keep moving forward.
Yes, keep pedaling. Yes, that's all you can do. That's all you can really do, and smile. You got to smile because it is about love. It shouldn't be some get.
So the other day I was those are the comedians that you love them to death, but those are the comedians you're after the side going, oh boy.
Yes, I know. I get we're all trying to perfect our craft, but on the other hand, you gotta have a good time because if we're not having a good time, how are we gonna make people? Yeah, nobody's gonna laugh at miserable. I mean, I don't know. Well, maybe they would, but I don't know. No, it's fun. That's what we're here to do. We're there to.
Exactly.
We're trying to add to the world, make the world a better place instead of making the world some crazy meanness. I want to take the meanness out of the world if we can, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Just make the world a better place.
Exactly. You just explained why I want to go into comedy, because I honestly, if I can make someone laugh and forget about their troubles for just those 10 minutes, like let's say someone comes to our open mic and they had a bad day, there's everything went wrong at work. They're just really tired. They're ready to turn off the day, but they promised their friend they would come. Like they promised you they'd be here. They promised me, hey, I've missed your show 3 times. I'm going to make it this time. You have my word. And they show up. But again, today's just been a day of hell for them or something like that.
Yes. Yeah. We don't know what they go through, but like I said, and that brings me back because remember you asked me in the beginning, why did I get into it? Because I was depressed. I was at the end of my rope. I was just like, how can I fix this? Be around funny people. Funny people are the glue. We're the medication. We're the doctor. We're the unwritten holistic healers of the world. That's our job, to make people laugh.
Exactly. It's my favorite hobby.
Yeah, they saved me. Those comedians made me laugh, and you guys make me laugh. And when I see all you guys and all our friends, you make me laugh. Even if I might sit there and then it looks like I'm staring at my drink, I'm actually just thinking a thing. My brain's going. I'm laughing. I laugh, and we did it. We do it. That's what we do. Yeah.
Exactly. So speaking now, like we said, we did it. You just did a Buddycast. So
I did a Buddycast. Catchy name too, by the way. I like the Buddycast. I like that.
I thought of it because you know what? Everyone on here is a buddy. Everyone in here has a story. Everyone in here has something that makes them unique. Something that, just pulls them out of the water. Like, I remember when I did a newspaper interview when I was younger, I was quoted in that paper. I have it sitting right up there on my mirror. And there's a quote, and I say, if everyone was the same, how'd we be able to tell each other apart?
This is right. That's exactly it. Yeah, the world would be a really boring place if everyone was the same. We'd all be robots. We'd be ants.
Exactly. It's like comedy too. If we all had the same styles and everything, if we all just did the same jokes, what would be
Oh,
different about your set and my set, you know?
yeah, yeah, no, that's the beauty of it. Everybody's so different, and everybody's got a thing. Everyone's got a schmickaroo they do, and I like it. I like it. I like it, and I like seeing it grow. I like seeing people getting better. I see you getting better. I see like Craig Baxter getting good. Anthony's getting real good. You know, oh my gosh,
Mhm.
everybody's just kind of. I can see their personalities just every month by month. We're leveling up, and like our little eerie scenes kind of we're you know, give it another year, and boy, we
It's
got some
rising.
top shelf entertainment cooking for a lot
Mhm.
cheaper than the big cities. You
Mhm.
know, yeah, yeah, we're on it. We're on it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Every champion was once a contender who
Well, sure.
refused to give up.
I
So,
I
but
know.
anyway, yep.
Oh, you're the best, Nick. Thanks for having me on the Buddy
Thanks for
Cat.
being on here, man. This was it. This was amazing. So,
Oh yeah,
for
yeah.
those of
Well,
you who don't, again, those of you who don't know, this is my good buddy Aaron Forsyth. Me and him have done, I think it's got to be close to at least 80 or something open mics together,
yeah.
at
It's
least.
yeah. Oh
At,
yeah,
and
yeah.
we've even done some shows together.
Yeah, yes. Chit chat on the internets.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So, yeah, this is my buddy Aaron. He does stand-up comedy. Hopefully, when this pandemic is done and the live comedy gets back into action, you can catch both of us on stage. You know, we like to perform in the Erie area. So, again, thank you for coming on the show. It was a blast, man.
You got it, brother. You got it. You
Stick
got it.
around
Now,
for a minute. I got something to tell you afterwards, but
well, you do. You got more buddy casts to go. You want to call me or fax me or text me
uh,
or
I'll just
send
stick
me a
around for a second. I
carrier
want to tell
pigeon?
you this in person. I'll tell you this
Huh?
in person. Don't, when I end the broadcast, don't exit out.
Okay. I'll
Yeah,
just
just
hang
stay
on the
listening.
line.
Yeah, absolutely. But thank you again for joining Buddycast.
Buddy
Remember,
cat.
go be
Buddy
someone
cat.
and go
Yeah.
be someone's buddy, you know?
Yeah. There's the logo right there. They're like,
Yeah,
buddy.
absolutely. All
All
right.
right.
We'll
Love
catch you all
y'all.
in the next
Thank you.
segment.
All right.
All
All
right.
right.
Take care, everyone.